dull is stripped away, and I simply come, longing just to bring something that's of worth, that'll bless your heart. I'll bring you more than a song, for a song in itself is not what you have required. You search much deeper within, through the way things have been. You're looking into my heart. I'm coming back to the heart of worship, and it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm sorry, Lord, for the thing I made it. Then it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. King of endless word, no one could express how much you deserve. Though I'm weak and poor, all I have is yours, every single breath. I'll bring you more than a song, for a song in itself is not what you have required. You search much deeper within, through the way things appear. You're looking into my heart. I'm coming back to the heart of worship, and it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm sorry, Lord, for the thing I made it, and it's all about You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. We're here to worship. We thank you for bringing us through this week. Over all that's happened, dear God, whether good or bad, you've been there. And it is truly you that make us brave. And so strengthen us in our weakness. And where we have anxiety, just push it aside, dear God, and replace it with a spirit of confidence and peace. Please bless us, dear God, as we prepare to receive your word and everything else that's supposed to happen, dear God. May you visit us in a brand new way that we won't leave here the same. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. You may be seated.
Good morning, CSA. Okay, so I came up last week. My name is Praise, Term 5 Med. On behalf of the board, I want to welcome everyone back. This is our second week, so I just want to make sure all the ministry leaders are sitting on the side of the room. We can't hear you. Reminder, there is a welcome multicultural potluck after church, and we'll be meeting outside of Belford. It's welcome to everyone. Okay, so I'll start with the announcements. We're looking for term reps for med, vet, pre-med. So if you guys are interested in doing that, you can reach out to Shania. She's right there. We have worship auditions next week after church. So if you're interested in playing an instrument or singing, or even getting involved with our AV team, please stay after church next week. Let's see. If anyone feels led to speak, please reach out to our Vice President, Rebecca. She's over there. We have worship on the beach, which would be February 14th. So that's where we meet at Grand Dance. It's a great time, so I really encourage you guys to come out. We have offering boxes in the back. They're the green boxes with the flowers on them. So we do communion every Sunday, every first Sunday of the month. So our first one will be February 2nd, which is next Sunday. And we have baptism on Easter Sunday. So if you guys are interested in getting baptized, please reach out to one of our e-board members. And then we'll have another Meet CSA next week Sunday. So basically you'll get to meet more of our worship leaders and people running ministries and Bible studies and stuff like that. If you guys would like to sign up for ministries and Bible studies, please let one of us know. You're going to meet everyone pretty soon, shortly. And CSA Kids needs volunteers, so they meet up in Founders Annex 1 every Sunday. So if you guys are interested in that, I'm not sure if we have anyone here with kids, but you can just let one of our e-board members know. And we have t-shirts on sale. They're red and blue. Those are 30 EC, and then we have a sisterhood one as well. It's pink, and that's 35. And if there are any parents in here, for our potluck, if you guys want to get food fast, get your kids as soon as church is over, and then you guys can cut the line. So if I can have the ministry leaders line up here. Okay, so I'll start. Yes, so if I can have the worship team, I'm not sure where you guys are, but I am, again, the e-board member, and there are 6 of us. So this is Shania. I'll let them all introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Shania. I am a Term 5 medical student.
I'm Josh. I'm a Term 3 medical student.
Hi, I'm Vanessa, Term 5 med.
Hey there, I'm David. I'm a Term 3 med.
Hey everyone, I'm G. I'm a Term 3 med.
Angelica, Term 3 med.
Okay, for AV next we'll have Tolu.
Hi everybody, I'm Kosi. Tolu is over here doing the visuals.
and the rest of my team, they're around. So I joined because I wanted to push buttons. And I found out that I made great friends. I met great people. So please join us if you're looking to do something. Join us. You don't need to know anything. I am testimony to that. I learned on the job. So we do the audio and the visual. So just join us, please. Okay?
Okay, so our welcome and hospitality group.
I'm hokey, like the hokey pokey, with a J, not an H. I'm an SO, I don't study. But I'm here for you. And that's why I'm a greeter, because I smile and I have no stress over my shoulders. I support my husband and I do the same thing, smile. Encourage you, lift your spirit up. If you like making people smile as soon as you walk into a building, join us. We love doing that. And then these are two of my teammates.
Hi, my name is Faith. I'm a Term 1 med student. I joined the Welcome and Hospitality team because I love to see smiles on people's faces. We like to make everyone feel like this is a family, you know, make everyone feel seen, and that's pretty much what I joined. So.
Hello, I'm Andrea. So we all work together. You have everybody that says hello to you and asks you if you're a student or not at the doors is on our team. Or there are people usually standing in the aisles and they will help you find a seat, and if you're nervous or shy, they'll walk you to your seat. But pretty much our job is we are the doorkeepers of Christ. We pray over you guys every week. You need to know that you have a family here on this island, and that's us. And so we want to make sure that when you walk through these doors that you're blessed and you know that you're loved and seen. So for you that try to sneak by, that's why we always say hello. But yeah, we pray over you guys. So it's a typical morning. You come in early, we pray together. There's other surprises, but you got to be on the team to get those perks. And then you go to your spots and you pretty much greet. You will stand at your post. So if you're greeting, you come in or in the aisles, just if somebody needs something or help. And then after worship, you go and mingle with your church family. And then after, you're just like everybody else. So. We are going to do our orientation for Welcome Team after church next Sunday. So if you want to join, just let one of us know at the potluck and I will email you. And so right after church next Sunday, we'll be in Founders Annex 2, which is right across from the kids.
Okay, now our prayer team.
Hey, my name is Janice.
Hi, my name is Judith. I'm a Term 3 med student. So every Wednesday we meet by the water, right by where you buy ice cream, if you want to buy ice cream and pray. So we meet every Wednesday. What we do, basically, we walk around and ask people if they have prayer requests. We pray over people. Being that we are very stressed, I think that that's a very good thing. If you want to join us every Wednesday at 12, come in, find us. We're always there. You'll see us at the potluck. Get our numbers, and we'll take your emails. We email you and stay in touch. Thank you.
Okay, now significant others.
Hey y'all, I'm Katie. I'm also an SO. My husband Seth is Term 2 medical student, and I'm the significant other ministry leader. We have a Bible study that meets on Wednesdays at 3:30 at Belford Patio. We are studying the second half of Mark this term, so we'd love to have you if you are an SO of a student, a faculty member, or on the island for another reason. We'd love to have you there, and come talk to me anytime.
And our orphanage ministry.
Alrighty, good morning, CSA. My name is Priscilla.
I'm Chelsea.
and we are both in Term 5 Med. So we are humbled and so excited to be leading the orphanage ministry this upcoming semester. So a little bit about what we do and what we're all about. Once a month, our team will visit the Bel Air Children's Home, where we have the opportunity to serve and connect with local Grenadian children from the ages of 1 to about 18 years old. And many of these children that we work with come from backgrounds where they have been forcibly removed from their homes because their home situations were not necessarily safe. However, in Psalms 10:14 it states, "But you, God, see the trouble of the afflicted. You consider their grief and take it in hand. The victims commit themselves to you. You are the helper of the fatherless." And in James 1:27 it states, "Religion that is pure and undefiled before God, the Father, is this, to visit orphans and widows in their affliction, and to keep oneself unstained from the world." So the Word of God shows us that, God promises hope and protection for those who cannot protect themselves, and He redeems injustice through His mighty love. And His Word also invites every one of us to allow God to use us to play a part in actively meeting the needs of these children. So as a team, we have the honor of answering this call and allowing God to use us to shepherd these children. So during our visits, we sing songs of worship, we play games, we eat snacks, and most importantly, we share the Word and the love of God.
Okay, so just a couple of logistics. So our first visit will be on the 29th of February. We will be sending out emails a week before the trip, and also if you'd like to sign up, please come next Sunday. You'll be meeting all of us officially again. If you'd like to sign up, I know some of you have already signed up, but just show up just so that we can see your faces and get to know you some more. Also, we'll be serving at the potluck, so come talk to us if you have any questions. The trips usually last 1 hour, 30 minutes from 2 to 3:30. You don't need to worry about transport. SGU provides that, thankfully. And sign-ups next week. And also, for any questions, reach out to us. And donations are welcome to the home. You just need to let us know what you're bringing so that we can introduce you to the ladies who work with the children, so that they can go through, they can make sure you haven't brought anything that's the children are allergic to. Just make sure everything that you bought is safe and usable for the children. But yeah, that's it for me.
Just quickly, lastly, we wanted to leave you with a verse from 1 Thessalonians 5:24, which states, "For the God who calls you is faithful, and He can be trusted to make it so." So as you consider how God may be calling you to serve this upcoming semester, whether it is through the orphanage ministry or one of the many other ministries here on stage, please take heart, for He who calls you to this work will be faithful to equip you for it. So thank you.
Okay, CSA kids, shoot.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bolanle, Term 2 Med.
I'm Mara, Term 2 Med also.
And we are part of CSA Kids. So CSA Kids is just a place for us, like children's church, essentially. We teach Bible studies, we sing, we dance, we have fun with the kids while service is going on. Just wanted to encourage each of you to get involved. We always need volunteers. It's super fun, literally just singing, having a great time with them. You can be having the worst week, but once you see their faces, it's just out the window, and it's just a great time.
So we have a third coordinator. Her name is Fumi. She's currently not here because one of us has to be there every week. So if you're moved to see kids, because we already see kids on campus, just come with one of us and sign up. We have kids from age 0 to whatever. So if you're a kid too, it's free snacks. Happy to see you guys there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, outreach.
Hi, I'm Shania.
Hi, I'm Alma. I'm Term 3 Med. So with outreach, the purpose of it is just to connect with others and spread the love of Christ with campus and around in the community. So we do goodie bags and trips to the home of the age. It's in Point Salines. So with goodie bags, we'll make them after church, usually on Sundays. We try to do it a couple of times a term, and then the next day we'll pass them out. And it's a really great way to meet people, because who doesn't like free food, right? It's like candy and stuff. So it's just a really great way to meet people. And then with Home of the Age, again, it's just to, we meet with the elders, we'll sing songs, We'll play games, and it's just a really great way because they'll tell you their whole life story, and it's just like really cool. And yeah, so yeah, please join. We always need a lot of volunteers, so you can just either see me or Shania. And yeah, thank you.
I just wanted to say also with outreach would be the term reps. So we are looking for term reps for every class. We want to kind of make a team this semester so we can really get the word out about CSA. So yes, also sign up for that as well.
Okay, we're Ben.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I'm term 4 vet. I'm the president of Christian Missionary Fellowship. And CBS is basically about building relationships and sharing the love of Christ through our profession. We do have a Facebook page where you can see all of our upcoming events for the term. One of our events is Real Life, Real Impact, where we have a couple of veterinary professionals coming to talk about their faith and how they incorporate that in their profession. We also do mission trips, as well as we raise money to buy livestock to send to families in third world countries where they are taught by a veterinarian how to care for the animal and to raise it and to be able to use it as income not only for their family, but for their community. Last term we were able to raise enough to buy a cow and a goat, and we're excited to see what God has planned this term. Thank you.
Okay, so now for our small groups, we have quite a few. We have Restoration, which is the Vet Bible Study, which meets on Monday, and it's led by Amanda. Maybe from 6 to 7. Once we have rooms set, we'll let everyone know, but some Bible studies may have unofficial meeting places, and they'll let you guys know. Did you want to say something?
Hey guys, Amanda. So yeah, our theme this term is restoration, and I'm really excited for the studies that we have planned. And yes, it is a vet Bible study, and so a lot of the studies we go through are written by veterinary professionals in what it's like to be a Christian in that profession. However, it's not like an exclusive club. Everyone's welcome. All the messages pertain to SOs, to med students, whatever. So by no means like, do you have to be a vet to come? But yeah, it is written towards that, but everyone's welcome. We've had SOs and other people come all the time, and they get a lot out of it as well. So.
Okay, and then we have the Hebrews Bible Study, meets on Tuesdays, 6 to 7, ran by Adina and Leon. Not sure if they're in, okay. No? Okay. On Wednesdays, our SO Bible Study meets, like they said, at 10:20 outside the Belford patio. 3:30 on Wednesday, led by Katie. And then the Greek Bible Study from 6 to 7, ran by Amanda and Nakia.
Good morning. My name is Nakia. I'm also a term 4 vet student. So last spring, Amanda and I started the grief support group. And then in the fall, we felt called to do more than just a support group and just like incorporate the word more. So this term, it's actually going to be Grief Bible Fellowship, where we're going to meet once a week, like she said, on Wednesdays at 6. And like she said, it's also inclusive for anybody. And I feel like a lot of times when people hear grief, they think that doesn't apply to me because I haven't lost, someone in my immediate family, I haven't lost a person. But like we all grieve different things, different like losses, whether it's a relationship, a friendship, maybe you had a CR or decel this term, and like that's a loss for you in your life. And if that's something you're grieving, we're here for you to support you. And then also, it took me a while to remember, but like the shortest verse of the Bible is Jesus wept. So like he grieves with us. And I think that's really important. So if any of you want to get involved, we have a Facebook page, and then Amanda and I will both also be outside after this at the lunch, so we can add you to that. Thanks.
Okay, and then we have Arise, which is our non-student Bible study, so it's open to SOs and locals. So they meet on Thursdays, 5:30 to 7, and it's ran by Lenny. Okay. Where? Okay, there she is. Okay, and then on Fridays, we have Lamb Mosaic, which is ran by me, Shania, and Tolu. We'll be meeting on Fridays at 6. 6 to 7. So this is basically, we wanted to make a Bible study that was very collaborative. So what we'll basically be doing is going through the Bible and picking different people from the Bible and just relating their stories to our current day, like current day things. So it'll be very collaborative, like I said. And then on Saturdays, we have our men's Bible study, led by Derek and Anthony, from 7 to 8. And then our women's...
Hello, guys. Dang, I can't get a response. Like, hold on. All right, but yeah, Anthony, stand up for me, please, brother. Yeah, so I'm gonna put you on the spot, yeah. So Anthony and I, we lead the men's Bible study. We meet on Saturdays at 7. And guys, I cannot stress enough, like putting Christ first in your life is everything. The scripture says, that men, we're the leaders of our household. And if we want our households to be ran efficiently, and if we want our lives to be ran efficiently, we have to have a genuine relationship with the Lord. So we met unofficially yesterday, and we talked about wisdom. And, in Proverbs, it talks about, though it costs everything you have, attain spiritual wisdom. So as men, I just cannot stress enough having a relationship with the Lord. And so if you want to get involved with that, reach out to Anthony and I. Like, we would really look forward to having you guys there. Like I said, it's always a blessing. And in our men's Bible study, we hit some nitty-gritty stuff, so it's good stuff. And also, I'm over to the soup kitchen as well, so I love food and I love to serve people. So if that's something that y'all looking into, please reach out to me. And so look forward, okay? Love you guys.
All right, and then on Saturdays, our women's Bible study meets as well at 6:30.
Hello everyone, so my name is Annie and I'm a term 3 medical student here. So the women's Bible study, as she said, meets on Saturday, 6:30 to 7:30, and then the venue will be announced. And so the women's Bible study is just like a place that encourages sisterhood in CSA. I mean, it's nice to know that we're a family, but it's also nice to know that you have sisters who you can lean on. Because as we always know, you can't always have everything together. So there are always people there who you can talk to and speak to. And then also we have the women's event, which is a very huge event where we get to dress up, we have food, and we have people who speak the word. There's also a worship time, and it's also a very, very fun event. So please come out, please join us. And also we have a Facebook group as well, so you could look out for that and just speak to me. And I am a co-leader, so Biobele, she's not here. She is with CSA Kids at the moment, so you could meet any of us to speak to us. And yeah, feel free to come out Saturday, we'll be there. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, last but not least, we have our advisors, Gwen Burbank and Dr. Glenn Jacobs. I don't think they're here. Oh, there's Gwen. And then we have Mike and Roycelyn. And we've got Leon and Adenia. So just another quick reminder, our potluck is after service, so we encourage everyone to come out. It's open to everyone. So, yes, and if you're serving, they're leaving at 12. So, oh yeah, okay, one more. There's Alpha, and they meet.
Hey everyone, I am G, but my name's Juan Cafete. If you can try and say it, you can say it. I'm leader for Alpha this semester, and we meet on Sundays from 5:30 to 7. Yeah, 5:30 to 7. We come and fellowship together, eat food, watch a video, and talk. This is a place that is welcome for everyone, Christian, non-Christian, new Christian, Christian for a long time. But yeah, we learn more about each other, different perspectives. It is an open place to just discuss things that we wouldn't normally discuss here. And yeah, please come out.
Okay, so I have the honor of introducing Leon, who will be speaking this morning.
Like I have 10 minutes. Or not, maybe I have more. So good morning, can everybody hear me? Yes? Okay, I'll take that as yes. Alright, so good morning again, my name is Leon. I'm one of the advisors here. I've been with CSA for quite a while now, since 2011, so long before most of you were even dreaming of Grenada. But anyways, Grenada has been my home for quite some time, but my wife and I, she's not, you'll see her at the potluck day, she's up against the guest. Anyways, I'll jump right. Now we're all awake. I'll jump right in to what we have to do. But before getting that, I'll just encourage you, please stay back after. Go to the potluck, even if you didn't bring something. There's always more than enough food, so don't feel like you have to stay away just because you didn't necessarily. We'd love to get to meet you, love to get to talk to you. Maybe next week, or the week after, the other advisors will get to come up and share a little bit about what they do, who they are. Alright, so, how many of you get excited when you see someone begging on the street? And you think, oh, that's a really good opportunity for me to give. Anybody? You don't have to be shy, but okay, if you want. I don't have candy to reward you today. But anyways, so probably not many of us, and I know I don't. You know, it's not that we don't like giving. You know, we don't like seeing people in that kind of need, not having food or shelter. So it's, you know, it's uncomfortable. It makes us uncomfortable, and it's, you know, it's oftentimes is heartbreaking. But I think one of the reasons we don't like to see it isn't so much because we're so moved by the state of that particular person, because we kind of all know that poverty is there. Jesus said the poor will always be among us. But it just makes us uncomfortable in that moment. And it's because of that discomfort that we sometimes choose to, look the other way. So I know a couple of times when you're walking on the street and you see someone begging on one side, and you're like, I really don't want to have to interact with this person right now. And you cross the street and you go the other side. Oh my God, I actually did that, right? And I'm sure most of us here are guilty of that at some point in time. But we don't always do that. Sometimes, we see someone in need and we decide to interact with them. We don't cross the street. We go up to them and we do something. There was one time when I was on rotations in New York, there was a young woman begging at a subway station, and she was very visibly pregnant. It was almost the end of November, so it was getting cold, and she was just wearing flip-flops and a very light sweater. And she was just begging for money. She wasn't, it didn't look like, she was trying to get drugs or anything like that. She definitely was a person in need. And I saw her, I was like, you know what, I have to give her some money. So I gave her some money, and I went on my way. And I felt a little bit good about myself. But then after, when I thought about it, those two interactions were quite identical. I just handled my own guilt differently. The first one, to remove myself or protect myself from the guilt I would have experienced, I crossed the street so I didn't have to deny that person to their face. They didn't ask me, so I didn't have to say no, or say yes, or whatever. So I didn't have to deal with that. The second one, I interacted with them and I gave, but right after, what changed for that person? That interaction really didn't inconvenience me in any way. In some ways, it just removed the guilt by knowing that, okay, I helped this person a little bit, so now I don't have to feel guilty about somebody asking me to. But I have to ask the question, is that true compassion? Is it true compassion to just do that much? In the book of Luke, Jesus tells a similar story like mine, one where someone sees someone in need on the side of the road, and one guy sees and crosses the other side, and then another one comes up, sees, it says he comes, he looks at the person, and then continues on his way. But there was a third person in Jesus' parable, unlike in my story, where he decided to act in compassion. And I think most of you probably forgot what story or parable I'm talking about. Anybody? Oh, it is. Good Samaritan, good. Is it up? Yeah, I think it is up. So that's what we're going to talk about briefly, very briefly. We're going to go through the Good Samaritan parable that you've probably heard so many times. And maybe it'll be from the same perspective that you've been taught it from, or maybe it'll be slightly different regardless. My hope is that we all could get something from God's. Let's pray. Father, I pray that as we study your word today, that we won't resist your teaching, Lord, but we will all be submitted to you, submitted to your spirit, and will be transformed by the renewing of our minds in Christ Jesus. Alright, so we're reading Luke 10, 30 to 35, and I'll read through it. You can follow on your screen or follow on your devices or actual Bibles if you still want to. So we'll read Luke 10, 30 to 35. Then Jesus answered and said, a certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among thieves, who stripped him of his clothing, wounded him, and departed, leaving him half dead. Now by chance a certain priest came down that road, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. Likewise a Levite, when he arrived at the place, came and looked, and passed by on the other side. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion. So he went to him, bandaged his wounds, pouring oil and wine, and he set him on his own animal, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. But the next day when he departed, he took out 2 denarii, gave them to the innkeeper, and said to him, take care of him, and whatever more you spend, when I come again, I will repay you. We love this story. We love the Good Samaritan story, because it always talks about the most unlikely person. We see the priest in the story being the self-righteous person that we see so often in our own lives, and say, yes, that's exactly how it is. The religious people just showing their religiosity, but not really showing compassion. Then we see this other Levite, and the Levites were sort of the tribe of the priests, again doing the same thing. But we see this Samaritan who, you really would just consider to be a stranger, stranger to the traveler, and consider the traveler to be a Jew, just because of the context that I was in. He had compassion. When he had compassion, he went to him. I was going to discuss a little bit about the priest and the Levite, but we'll leave that for a second, and I'll jump right into the compassion of the Samaritan. Jesus said that when he saw the man, he had compassion on him, and because of that, he acted. So I want to briefly mention 3 things. If you've heard me speak before, I usually have 3 points, so there you go. 3 things that compassion caused in the life of the Samaritan, and likewise 3 things compassion should cause in our life. So the first one, compassion removed the Samaritan's prejudice. So you might be asking, how is prejudice part of this conversation? Glad you asked. So to understand this, you kind of have to understand who the Samaritans were and who the Jews were. Some of you probably know. So the Samaritans, basically people that lived in Samaria, in 721 BC, the Assyrians conquered the Israelites and took most of the tribe away, and they left some, there were some Israelites still left in the land. The king of Assyria sent his own people from different lands to live in that land. So now what happened was the Gentiles basically and some of the Jews left, they started intermarrying, and what happened with that intermarriage, it wasn't just that they got married, but they started adopting the religious practices and the pagan worship that, that much of the Gentiles practiced then. So eventually now when, Israel, the Israelites returned to the land, they didn't see these people as their own. They saw them as, these were unclean. They were worshipping idols. They had built their own temple and all these things. We don't want them to take part in building our own temple. So they pretty much shunned each other. So there was very much a big divide between these 2 groups. So putting that back into the context of our story now, you could see why the Samaritan had to put aside his prejudice to help this man in need. This was somebody who was very much, for all intents and purposes, an enemy. They didn't really have interaction with each other. They hated each other. So much so when, in Jesus' time, he was insulted by being called a Samaritan. It was an insult to be called that. And that's the level of disgust or disdain they had for each other. But we see here that the Samaritan man doesn't think about any of those things. It makes no mention of him reasoning any of these thoughts. It says that he saw him, and he acted. So my question to all of us here today is, Are there prejudices in our lives that are preventing us from acting in compassion? Maybe we look at a drug addict and say, well, maybe they shouldn't have gotten themselves in that situation. And that's true. People shouldn't get themselves there. But does that mean that we shouldn't help them? Do we understand all parts of that story? The road that he was walking on that day is called the way of blood or bloody path. So you might say, well, he shouldn't have been walking on that road in the first place. Maybe not. But did that change the fact that he was a person in need of help at that point in time? So likewise, what are the prejudices that we have? Maybe it's somebody of a different racial group, or a different political party, or a different whatever. You could put in whatever you want there. What is that prejudice, or what is that thought that you're holding that is preventing you from showing compassion to this person? True compassion. Not, false sense of compassion, where, yeah, I care, but that's someone else's job. The Samaritan saw the need and acted. So that's the first thing. Compassion remove the Samaritan's prejudice, and it should remove our own prejudices as well. The second one, compassion made the Samaritan care for the man's needs. The Samaritan felt this strong emotion, but it wasn't just emotion, it was action. He didn't just say he wanted to help, he helped. He got off of his donkey, I think it was a donkey, but it didn't specify, I can't remember. He got off of his animal, and he cared for the man. He took out his own oil and wine was kind of like, the traveler's medicine kit back in those days. And he took what he had, and he used that to care for the man there. A lot of times, we think compassion is just an awareness of somebody else's need and just this desire to want to help them. But just having an awareness of somebody else's need isn't compassion, that's empathy. And don't get me wrong, empathy is not a bad thing. Like, especially if you're in any kind of, professional field now, whether it's business or medicine or whatever. Empathy is one of those nice, sexy words we like to throw around with how we should interact. Like I was reading a Harvard Business Review article this week, and they were saying, to be a good leader, you have to have empathy. And don't get me wrong, empathy is essential. You need to have empathy. But the Bible doesn't stop there. It doesn't say that we just need to feel this emotion for somebody. It says that we need to act on that. The Greek word used here for compassion, and I'm slaughtering this word, so for the Greek-speaking people, please don't slaughter me after. Splanchnitzomai. And it's translated compassion here 12 times in the Gospels. And each time, it's either used by Jesus to describe something or to describe himself, what Jesus felt. And what that word meant was to be moved from one's bowel. So you've heard Tim Splanchnick before referring to the abdomen. And basically they felt that emotion came from the bowel. So they were basically saying that you feel such strong emotion that moves you. So a lot of times you've probably heard it, you probably read it in much of the Gospels when they said Jesus had compassion. They said that he was moved with compassion. So every time Jesus uses the word compassion, there's always an action associated with it. It wasn't just, I feel really sorry for this person, or I care so much for them, but I have to go. That's not what Jesus did. He was moved with compassion, and he healed the sick, he fed the poor, he raised the dead, and he showed them the way of life. All those things show compassionate care, genuine care that the religious leaders of Jesus' day didn't want to show, because it was inconvenient. So the question I need to ask myself is, when I feel compassion, or when I think I have compassion for someone or some group of people, am I moved to action? Or is it just a feeling that I have and I just do nothing until it passes and I move on to something else? So the second one is compassion should cause us to care for another's needs. It caused the Samaritan to care for this stranger or enemy even, and it should cause us to care for others as well. And the third one is compassion cost the Samaritan something. In the parable, it says that after caring for the man there, he didn't just leave him and say, well, he's good enough, I've kind of stabilized him, and somebody else will take it from here, hopefully. He went further than that. He cared for him immediately, he put him on his animal, took him to an inn, cared for him at the inn there, had to leave, and told the innkeeper, take care of him, I'm giving you this money, which was about 2 days' wages back in those days. So he paid him a decent amount of money. He said, whatever you spend, how much ever more you spend after that, don't worry, when I come back again, I will pay you. To me, that's bad business, that's asking for someone to take advantage of you. But he didn't care, it didn't matter in that story, because all he was concerned about was the care of this person. So when we say we have compassion on someone or in some situation, is it costing us something? When someone is in need, am I just showing them what I think as compassion because it's convenient to me, just like I did with the girl on the subway? That was convenient to me. It didn't cost me much, really. And after that, what? But how have I changed that person's life? Did I really take the time out to find out why she was there? And how can I help? Compassion costs us something. Costs us our time, costs us our money, costs us effort. So we can't just do what's convenient and call that compassion. Going back to the priest and the Levite, the only reasonable explanation I have as to why they didn't help was because it wasn't inconvenient to them. If he thought that the person was dead or almost dead, a priest, if they came into contact with a dead body, would make themselves ceremonially unclean, and there's a whole process to go through after that, and a time period, and maybe just reason, I don't want to go through that. I don't know. And we can only speculate. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he gave an address called "I've Been to the Mountaintop," and he describes it as this. He says, I imagine that the priest and the Levite asked this question: if I stop to help this man, what would happen to me? But the Samaritan asked the question, if I do not stop to help this man, what would happen to him? Too often, we put ourselves at the center of these situations and we ask, what would happen to me? What would it cost me if I take time out or whatever it is to help this person? Instead of saying, what would happen if I don't help? And it's not a prideful kind of, I'm so important. But it's a humble way of saying, I'm here to serve. How can I serve another? We live in a very broken, hurting, even hateful world. I don't think that's hard to see these days. I feel like with social media, I don't know, maybe in previous generations it was harder to see because we didn't have social media, but now with social media, you see it right front and center every day, numerous times a day. And one thing I've been saying for the last couple of years is the world isn't looking to the church for answers to this hate and indifference and whatever else, but they're looking at us. They're looking at what is our response. What is our response to the needs that exist around us? Are we willing to go out of our way and pay whatever is necessary in response to that hate, responding with the kind of compassion that Jesus called us to have? Are we responding with compassion that puts aside our prejudice, compassion that moves us to action, compassion that costs us something, not just whatever is convenient to me, but even the inconvenient things? It's a difficult standard that Jesus sets, but it's a standard that he calls us to. So what do we do then? We need to have this compassion, and you might be thinking, well, that's nice, but that's not really practical. That's not easy, and you're right. I think we all agree that it's not an easy thing to show compassion, especially when we haven't been shown compassion ourselves. I think most of us have been hurt at some point in time by someone or something, some circumstance. And a lot of times, the hurts of life can make us very bitter and force us to not have compassion on others. I'll share a very tense story. Hopefully it's not too, it doesn't, distract you too bad. I have two friends that got raped back home while they were at university. And after it happened, they went through this whole process of, healing. I can't imagine having to deal with something like that. And one of them responded, I said, you know what, I don't wish this on anybody. I don't even wish this on the people who did this to me. I don't wish this on their children. The other one, she took a lot longer to get to that point. And she had just so much hate and so much bitterness. And you could understand why she had so much hate, why she was so bitter, why she couldn't feel any compassion for anyone. Even those people's children who probably had nothing to do with any of this, but she couldn't have compassion on them because she was hurting so much. And maybe that's you. Maybe you're hurting so much that you find it hard to have compassion on others. I suffered, so they should suffer too. Nobody was nice to me, so maybe I shouldn't be nice to anybody else. And by the world standards, that's a reasonable way to respond. But Christ calls us to a higher standard than that. So if you've never received compassion, Jesus paid the ultimate price to show you compassion. The Bible said that God saw the consequences of our sin. He saw where we would end up if he didn't act. If God had decided to stay comfortable and not be inconvenienced by our sin, our action, then we would have no salvation. But the Bible says he humbled himself even to the death of the cross to show the ultimate act of compassion for us. And just as he was moved with compassion then, 2,000 years ago, he's moved with compassion for all of us here today. And that price that he paid then, he doesn't have to pay it all over again. He paid it once and for all, for you, for your salvation. But in addition to just that salvation, maybe you receive salvation, but you still struggle with receiving that compassion and showing that compassion to others. He still has that compassion on you. But it requires that we open up our hearts to him, allow him to take the heart of stone, the heart that gets hardened by the cares of life. Allow him to soften that heart and replace it with heart of flesh, as the Bible says. So if you don't know how to have compassion, just like everything else, Jesus said, you don't have because you don't ask. And I'm not trying to say that in some kind of prideful way. I'm saying that to encourage you. If you want compassion, just like Jesus had, ask. He said, no good thing will he withhold from those who ask. And we like to use that in terms of like money and success and all that. But he was really talking about his spirit. And God's spirit is the spirit of love and the spirit of peace. And the same spirit that filled Jesus and moved him to compassion on those people there is the same spirit that fills us and moves us to compassion to the people around us. So the worship team is going to come up. I know we're a little bit over time. I was giving the people who are setting up have a little extra time. But as the worship people come up and we'll be singing the last song. We'll have people up at the front and at the back who would love to pray with you. If you've never received compassion from God and you don't know what it is to call Jesus your Savior, you've never received salvation, or you don't know what that means even, please come down, talk to one of these people who will be at the front and might have people at the back as well. Talk to one of them. Maybe you received salvation, but you still find it hard to show compassion because life is just hard and life is faithful. And it's difficult. Trust me, all these people that are up here, they understand. They've experienced some of those hurts. But the Bible says that in confession there's healing. So come, confess, say what's on your mind. Allow us to pray with you. Allow us to show you the compassion that Christ has shown to so many of us, and he wants to show to you here today. Don't allow past hurts, don't allow your prejudices, even your prejudices about the people here. What would they think if I come up to pray? Would they think I'm such a terrible person? It doesn't matter. It matters what you think and what God thinks of you. The Bible says he loves you. He paid the ultimate price. The only thing is we need to respond. So how will you respond to his compassion today? Father, we thank you for your love. We thank you that you loved us so much that you gave your son to die for our sins. Lord, there's nothing we could have done to earn or deserve your forgiveness. But you love us anyhow. Father, for all of us here that need your compassion in our lives so real every day, Father, I just pray that you fill us with your spirit, Lord, that we'll experience your love, we'll experience your compassion poured out on us each day. Father, as we experience you, as we experience your spirit, Lord, that we will be moved to compassion, moved with compassion for those around us. There are lives we won't live it for ourselves. We won't allow our vision to be clouded by the things we think or our judgments of things, Lord. But we will allow ourselves to be guided by your Spirit. Father, for those here that don't know you yet, Father, I pray that you open their hearts and their minds, Lord, to receive from you, Lord. Thank you again for this time, Jesus.
Would you stand with us, please? This last song talks about that very compassion that God showed for us. And how many of you know that He would do it all over again just for you? If it was just for you alone, He would do it again. He would come and He would rescue you. So this one is called "He Came to My Rescue." I called, you answered, and you came to my rescue, and I wanna be where you are. I called, you answered, and you came to my rescue, and I wanna be where you are. Falling on my knees in worship, giving all I am to seek your face. Lord, all I am is yours. My whole life I place in your hands. God of mercy, humbled I bow down in your presence at your throne. I call, you answer, and you came to my rescue, and I wanna be where you are. When you call, you answer. I call, you answer, and you came to my rescue, and I wanna be where you We want you to be glorified in our lives. So in our lives, be glorified, Lord. Take up the center position, Lord. Receive all the glory. In my life, be lifted high in our world. Be lifted high in our love. Be lifted high in our life.
call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. It's not a if or might, shall be saved. If you never called on Jesus, call on Him today. I don't usually do this, but I'd like to leave you to pray. If you've never asked Jesus into your life, then say this prayer as with me. Dear God, I know that I am a sinner. I know that I need your love in my life. Lord, I call on you today to come into my life and change me. Remove all the unclean things. Remove all the things that even I don't want. Replace my hardened heart with a heart of stone, with a heart of flesh. And lead me in your path. I thank you for your love. I thank you for your spirit that now lives in me. I place my trust in you. If you prayed that prayer and you meant it, that Jesus lives in you, His Spirit lives in you now, this very moment. There's no probation period, there's no waiting. But that's how we start. So I encourage you, if you're not sure what it means to have a walk with Christ, come and talk to one of the leaders, the people you see up here, the people that you saw on the stage earlier. Come and talk to one of them. Let them disciple you, let them walk alongside you. Even if you've walked this path so many times, or for so many years, but you still need someone beside, come alongside. Let us show you the love that Christ has called us to show. I'll pray and dismiss us, and after, again, we're all going to Belfast, so please join us. But if you want to stay, if you want to pray with someone, we'll have the prayer team will be up for a couple more minutes. They'd love to pray with you, so please don't leave here. If you want to talk to someone, you want to pray with someone, please don't leave here without doing that. Father, we thank you for your word today, Lord. We thank you again that we can come together, spend time in your presence, spend time learning more about you, more about ourselves, Lord. Father, I pray that as we continue to search your word, Lord, and spend time with you, Lord, that you search our hearts, Lord. You show us the things that need to be changed, Lord, the things that we need to rid ourselves of. Just allow your Spirit to dominate everything in our lives. Lord, I pray that this week, each day, Lord, we will, as Paul says, Lord, we will die to ourselves daily. We will allow your Spirit to live in and through us. Lord, for everyone this week, all the tasks that they have on hand, all the things that they need to get done, Father, I pray that in everything that they do, Lord, they will put you first, Lord. They'll remember you as the guide and the light of their life. Lord, be with them, watch over them. Father, we just speak your blessing upon them as they go this week. Father, we thank you for the meal and for all the people that contributed in some way, Lord. We just pray to continue to bless them. And bless the time, Lord. Multiply the food, Lord. Let it be so much that we'd have so much to give away after. We thank you again for this time in your presence. In Jesus' name. Bless you.